So I came across this. Think about the title. Third time lucky question mark. Our 50k Jeep Wrangler, for a start, 50k for a Jeep Wrangler, was stolen by keyless car thieves. Nah, I've covered it over the years. I'm apparently selling it to nobody, but, you know, if one of the agendas is to make the cost of having a motor vehicle is so prohibitively expensive, insurances and all the rest of it, how would you go about doing that? This keyless entry, seriously, I mean, it's witchcraft on steroids. I'm embarrassed for most of the population that thinks this is a good idea. I mean, how many different examples of cars being stolen? And you know the witchcraft, they said, oh, don't worry about that. As long as you've got your key fob in some type of Faraday cage, you should be fine. But when you look at the data, that's not the case. It really isn't the case. And for what? Rather than going to the extreme stress of putting a key, to start a car. No, I'm a god. I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to leave my fob in my pocket. I'm a busy individual. I'm windswept and interesting. I want to be able for my car to unlock as I walk up to it without even touching anything. Without even going, woot, woot, no. I just need to feel, and remember, they're sold into so many things. Well, with the power of keyless entry, you can, through an app, decide who gets to drive your car, yeah? Or you can have a wee spare card, and there's so many ways they're selling this as convenience. Where it's convenient, it's the car theft. Now you could look at the fact, especially in the UK, how is it all this organised crime? We've got MI5, we've got, blah, blah, blah. But we just can't seem to pin down these international gangsters that are, like they'll nick a car and it's off somewhere to wherever by the very next day, And you've seen examples of people that have got other little trackers on their car and they say to the police, listen, I know where it is. I can show you my app. And the police are like, well, Seriously. Keyless entry is for the absolutely... I'm aware more by the day that, saying anything perceived by anybody is offensive. Well, that's 30 words and you could be jailed for years. But how fucking retarded do people have to be? Seriously. And in this case, they've had their car stolen twice. Oh, I know. Let's get another one. Seriously. It's mockery on steroids. It's an example of... It's mockery of the population. Man, that's... if you ever wonder why the underlying occultists have such motivation, look no further than what they do to the public that the public embraces. And instead of maybe we need to look in another direction. Maybe this keyless entry is a bad thing. No, let's just keep doing it. Seriously. Oh. I personally think, for example, the Macan T by Porsche, which is a base Macan with a few specific upgrades for handling and whatever else. Although, for some, look, at only an extra couple of thousand, you could get a Macan S with at least another 115 plus horsepower. And, if you've got the money, get a GTS. Have you seen in the UK, I'll give you an example in Scotland, what they're trying to push through just now? Instead of the national speed limit outside of a motorway being 60, they want to reduce that to 50. Yeah? Where are you going to be able to, unleash 75 horsepower for the S or nearly 440 for the GTS? That thing there's got something like 261 horsepower, but that's to the wheels. And guess what It's not standard on it. You can get it if you're a fucking idiot, but guess what's not standard on it? Keyless entry. And it still has traditional gauges. And everything now made by Porsche, all the new stuff, is all digital screens that will screw up over a matter of years. Yeah? Even although some have mocked this particular variant of the Macan, I reckon that that's a Macan to actually keep hold of. I would argue that that's going to be the Macan, the SUV that people will actually only really truly start appreciating when they stop making them. And look at their electric equivalents. Oh, dear. Seriously. As always, I could do a better job and I could do more detail on individual vehicles. Absolutely. But yeah. Seriously. 47 grand, and apparently the new one's like up to 54. Yeah. Seriously, that. And this kitted out 70. Which one's going to hold its value? Far better over far more years, and I would argue over time will be much more sought after. Yeah, that's just but one example. As far as I'm concerned about Porsche, where they're going with every car being keyless entry and no traditional dials, all screens, I literally see it as a deliberate bad move to help collapse a brand that up until a point has been something to be truly sought after for all the right reasons. Now I see a dilution. I look at this new Cayenne, and it's, you will take keyless entry, you will take all screens, you will take this, that, and the next thing. I reckon over time these things are going to drop like a brick, but not so much these things. Base Macans, but especially the Macan T with the right options, yeah, I'll hit you for about, at the moment, 70 grand. And I suspect in the next few months, there's a potential chance they'll no longer be up for sale. And yeah, you could say I've been off at tangents, but I just think it's a great example of where you want something that does the job. It doesn't have to be lunatic speed. I mean, what is it, 5.8 to 60? I mean, holy shit, UK, is that not decent enough? Better fuel consumption. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Macans are not exactly known for vast fuel efficiency, but I'd rather take the 2 litre than the 3s. Oh, yeah, the 2.9s. Yeah. And you're going to get better handling, better response. Much more of a momentum vehicle. It makes a lot of sense. And the design, I would argue, is timeless. And done in the right colour, I don't think you could go wrong. Anyway, what would I know? Anyway, I'll speak to you soon.